In order to compete in our digitally connected, globally oriented world, we must be able to attract, engage, and retain top talent. Not average, not good, but great talent. Unfortunately, there's a problem with this. Many of the practices that we use to hire and manage staff are outdated. In fact, most of our human capital practices date back to the industrial age, where employees spent most of their days doing routine, tactical, and predictable work. We developed processes and practices for the factory floor and then replicated them in the office environment. These include waiting for positions to become open and then scrambling to hire not the best of the best, but the best available in the market at that time, and then micromanaging them in a command and control environment, closely directing what they do, how they do it, and when they do it. Now, there are two things that are wrong with this. First, insanely great people don't react well to this old school methodology. And second, it's really, really hard on our managers. Over the last 30 years, technology and globalization have significantly changed the workplace paradigm. According to McKinsey, about 70% of the work that we do has been automated or outsourced. This has allowed our workforce to spend their time doing more innovative, strategic, and creative things. So, what we expect from our staff is drastically different than it was even a few decades ago. And what they expect from us has changed significantly too, with the newest generations demanding a different relationship with the company and the manager that they work for. The old ways, they simply don't work anymore. According to Gallup, the majority of our global workforce is disengaged and uninspired, which costs you and your organization money. Conventional wisdom says that it costs between 50 to 200% of an employee's annual salary to replace them. And our global disengagement epidemic can be costing your business up to a third of their annual salary in lost productivity for every member of your team who's not actively engaged and bringing their A game to work. We have to address these issues now because it's just going to get harder and harder for our companies to compete in a dwindling talent market. In case you haven't noticed, we're in the midst of a critical skill shortage. McKinsey says that we could face up to 85 million open jobs by 2020 due to the shift in workplace expectations and the aging workforce. That's scary stuff. If you find that stat hard to believe, go to TED.com and look at Rainer Strack's excellent TED Talk, where he outlines the research BCG has done to project the skills shortage through the year 2030. So we've got to get this right, and we've got to get it right now. If we want to compete and not only survive, but thrive in this digitally connected, globally oriented world, we must stop using industrial age practices to hire and manage social age staff. So, how do we fix this? By employing what I call social age talent solutions. The social age workforce must take into account both the needs of the organization as well as the needs of the individual. Only in this sweet spot where the needs of both intersect can we have true motivation, engagement, productivity, and performance. I'd like to share the model that I've used successfully over the last 7 years to help companies like yours increase performance, productivity, and motivation while decreasing costs and employee turnover. It all starts with hiring the right people. And hiring well starts with sourcing. Only about 5% of top talent are actively looking for work at any given point in time. So we must shift from reactively scrambling to fill open positions to proactively planning our future needs and then using multiple sourcing strategies to find those passive job seekers. We must also do a much better job of selecting our candidates. Most hiring managers have not been trained well on selecting top talent. Instead, they rely on gut feel to match a poorly designed job description with poorly written resumes. The linchpin to hiring well is a properly defined and articulated job description. Yes, you heard me right. The right job description will make all the difference in the world in not only your ability to hire top talent, it will also help you onboard and more effectively measure and manage performance. The job description format that I teach is called the PGS job description. P stands for purpose of both the company and the role. This purpose connects with the candidate's hearts and minds. The G stands for goals. Instead of a laundry list of duties and responsibilities, which are uninspiring and completely ineffective when it comes to measuring and managing performance, you want to determine no more than 5 goals or outcomes that the candidate will be responsible for achieving. You'll also want to build in specific measurements to these goals to tell the candidate and to help the manager measure and manage the successful achievement of those goals. The final component to this type of job description is a list of strengths. These are sometimes called competencies or innate abilities. These are the behaviors that an individual needs to successfully achieve the outcomes written above. Instead of hiring for skills and experience like we've done for centuries, let's look at the underlying competencies or strengths that enable people to be successful in their roles. After all, just because someone has 5 years of experience working as a receptionist, a salesperson, an engineer, or an operations manager does not mean that they were any good at it. This type of job description not only gives the hiring manager a very effective, objective set of criteria on which to hire, it gives the candidate much more clarity and certainty around what's required to be successful in the role and how that success is measured. By the way, you can use the same document as your job ad. I guarantee, and my clients have personal experience with doing exactly this and being able to attract less quantity but far greater quality in candidates. Used as job ads, the PGS job description cuts through and magnetically attracts the right person while repelling the wrong one. You can then use the same job description as the foundation for your onboarding process. And that's the final step in the hiring process. 22% of employee turnover occurs within the first 45 days of employment. The key here is to help your new hire become as productive as possible, as quickly as possible, and to help them immediately become part of the team. Once you hire the right person, performance management becomes infinitely easier, especially with a properly defined PGS job description. The goals become the objectives or KPIs to which you can hold your team member accountable. Then it's just a matter of giving them the autonomy they need to use the strengths you hired them for to accomplish those goals. Keep them on track with consistent, constructive, and immediate feedback and help them stay focused on internal career opportunities instead of unwittingly letting them look externally when ready for their next move. This framework will help you as a manager effectively meet your own goals and the overall needs of the organization. But remember, I said that true employee performance, productivity, motivation, and engagement in today's social age can only be achieved when the needs of the organization intersect with the needs of the individual. This is accomplished through our 5 focused conversations framework. These 5 topics of conversation, identified through the FOCUS acronym, provide the means to help your staff member meet the goals in the PGS job description. By having regular, meaningful conversations in these 5 topic areas, managers will be able to deliver on the needs of both. And the result? Happy, motivated, and productive teams of talented individuals working together to achieve both the company and their own goals. The byproduct of which are managers who are much less stressed, have more time in their day, and are able to accomplish more and do more meaningful work. And of course, a better bottom line. Interested in finding out how this framework can help you hire, inspire, and retain top talent? Connect with us directly. And check out my LinkedIn page for testimonials and real results from previous clients. You can find me on LinkedIn at Kim Sealing Smith. I look forward to hearing from you.